once we've learned how to calculate the empirical formula, then we will need to go to the molecular formula. So what this compound actually really is. Now, empirical formula is the lowest whole number ratio of atoms. So we've been talking about that over here. And then molecular formulas are what the molecule actually is. So what we're going to be doing when we find the molecular formula from the empirical formula is we just need to find out what to multiply all the subscripts by. In this case, we had to multiply all the subscripts by 4, and that would give us C2H4. In this particular one, C3H9, we had to multiply all the subscripts by 3. And in C2H3, we had to take all the subscripts from its empirical formula and multiply them by 2. So really, this is all we're looking for. We just need to know what to multiply all the subscripts by. And the way to do this is, first, if you got to find the empirical formula, do that. Sometimes these are layered together as one problem. Find empirical, then molecular. That's always how it goes. Then you're going to find the empirical formula mass. That is the molar mass of your empirical formula, which, unless you have to find it, will be given to you. And then to find the number that you're going to multiply all the subscripts by, you're going to take the molecular formula mass. This number right here is always given. It may not be labeled that way, but the number they give you in the problem is the molecular formula mass because you can't solve this problem without it. And then divided by the empirical formula mass, which you calculate. All right, and that will give you, that number will give you the subscript, or what you need to multiply all the subscripts by. And that number should come out really close to a whole number if it's not a whole number. All right, so my example problem here, determine the molecular formula of a compound with an empirical formula of CHF3 and a molecular formula mass of 139.57. So to find the number, I'm going to need to take my molecular formula mass divided by my empirical formula mass. My molecular formula mass is always given. It's 139.57 grams per mole, or it could be an AMU, it doesn't really matter. And then I need to find my empirical formula mass. My empirical formula has one C, it has one H, and it has three F's. So I'm going to find the molar mass of those. So carbon from the periodic table is 12.01. Hydrogen from the periodic table is 1.01. Fluorine is 18.99. So I find my empirical formula mass. This adds up to be 69.99. And then I'm going to plug that in here. And then 139.57 divided by 69.99. Gives me 1.99, which is close enough to round to 2. That is the number I need to multiply all the subscripts of my empirical formula by. So my empirical formula is CHF3. So my molecular formula is C2H2F6. Yes, that is the answer to that problem.